Papi, baby.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Positive Poppy, baby, and we're back with another episode of Papi and Friends. Each episode is broken down into 5 sections: the journey, the process, latest and greatest, gems, and speed questions. And this podcast is powered by the one and only Bob Coffee, based out of Long Beach. I'm sitting here with my man Will. What is good, bro? Tell the listeners who you are and what you do, bro.
Oh man, good morning. I'm Will. I'm from the Valley in LA. I'm Filipino.
Are you born and raised from the Valley too?
Yeah,
Tight.
Satakoy right here at Northridge Hospital my whole life. My mom had us live here because she thought I was gonna spend like my entire life on Reseda Boulevard, like go to CSUN, go to Reseda High. Yeah, just grow up all along this one street.
That's wild.
But ended up doing the exact opposite. But yeah, I take pictures. I was a photographer first. And then I ended up doing all kinds of other stuff just because of that. Just being around and trying to be responsible.
That part. I love, let's acknowledge how humble this cat is right now. He said, I take pictures. Yo, this is one of the filthiest photographers out right now. Like, you go to his IG page, his whatever, his portfolio, you're just like, yo, why are these shots so milky, bro? Like,
thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
No worries, bro. No worries. So I like to start off, just kind of like ease into it. Tell me what's your favorite color and why?
My favorite color?
Yeah.
I guess black. Black because there was a better quote from this Japanese designer Yohji Yamamoto that had a better idea of how I feel about the color black, but on a functional level, it doesn't reflect light. So there's that part of it. When I was in high school, I was working on like stages or like theater type of stuff or like live event, and it was like always like the code that you wear black. People don't see you, you can still work. You don't affect anything because you're not obvious. And it's slimming.
That part. Hey, we out. Hey.
Yeah, and it works all the time. And it just like on a whole other professional level, it adds like a nice little detail of just seriousness and potentially cleanliness that isn't, or that's like a other alternative to a white cleanliness that like reads like clinical or.
Dang, I never thought about that. That's true.
Yeah. So black's cool with me. Yeah. Otherwise, I like blues, I like dark greens, whatever.
Hearing you talk about color right now, I see that in your work actually.
Yeah, I definitely like darker stuff.
Like rich, like rich colors. Like
yeah, I like contrast. But yeah, it's all just obviously there's a time and place. But I would love to lean more towards darker stuff, more shadows, things like that.
Nice. Tell me, what's one word to describe yourself and why?
One word?
Yeah.
I guess discreet. I like to be pretty quiet. Yeah. I don't like to make a lot of noise. I like to do the job I came to do and not try to be or do too much else. And I just like to be at a place when I'm supposed to and not be there anytime I'm not supposed to.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. I love it. Because everything you're saying, it just makes me think like I see all that come out in your work. You know what I'm saying? Man. Like even like the discreetness, like your photos, bro, like the way that you like your compositions and everything with them, it almost feels like the model is being discreet unintentionally. Yeah. But like the clothing is like what's in the forefront. But even though it's the person wearing it, but at the same time, you're just like, you don't even acknowledge the person.
Oh, damn. Damn, maybe I should work on that because I definitely want to be more towards the people, my people in my photos, but I have been like shooting some like more apparel, like fashion stuff.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I'm referencing. Like, for
Yeah, yeah,
example, like I'm on your feed right now. Even like the stuff you guys did with Matt, like that you did for Matt Happy.
yeah, yeah,
Like the person is very prominent, but for
yeah,
some reason you don't even acknowledge them. You're just like, dang, look at this shirt or look at this jacket. I don't know. I don't know how you do it, but it works. It's tight.
yeah,
But then
yeah,
like your portrait stuff is straight people.
yeah,
Like it's almost like you're like you know how to bend light to focus on like what you want to focus on.
yeah, yeah. Super important.
A lot of people don't know that or even understand what that is. So it's like bro, my man's got the juice, y'all.
No, I try, man. The one of the first things I learned about photography was that it's made up of two Greek words that literally mean to draw with light.
Whoa, I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah, and if
That's
there's no light,
hard.
yeah, if there's no light, there's no photograph. So
That's hard. Dang, dog.
it's true.
Message. So let's start off with the journey. We kind of tapped in like where you're from, but talk to me about your hometown, how you got into photography, kind of like career moves. But yeah, just kind of take it away. Let's chat about that, bro.
Okay. I'm the first kid in my whole family, or I'm the first kid um on both my mom and dad's side of the family, besides their sisters and brothers' kids that were born in America.
Word.
Um,
Is your family from the Philippines?
yeah,
Okay,
both of
tight.
them. So both my parents came over here, and then yeah, they picked the valley. My mom actually had a crazy story when she first came here that her first apartment in her 20s was like in Pico Union, and she like didn't know any better. And she said that like, one day she would come outside of her apartment and like someone ended up getting killed like in front of her door. And so after that, she like left Pico Union, but before she could even move out, yeah, it's crazy. Um, and before she could even move out, it's so funny too. My mom told me that like she when she first came to America, she like worked and worked, took the bus and everything, like did whatever she could to save some money, and she just blew it all on a Porsche. And still living in Pico Union with her Porsche. And she said that one day she went to go to leave her house to drive it, and yeah, it's completely gutted, no wheels, no interior.
Bro, no.
Yeah, so she stopped doing that. But yeah, I'm an only child. What you call this? I'm an only child from this marriage. My mom ended up getting married 4 times in total.
Okay.
And my dad got remarried once. But now my dad stays in Lakewood. My mom's still here in the valley.
Hey, Lakewood, that's right by me, bro. I'm out here in Long Beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad lives next to Lakewood High.
Okay, word. Yeah, I'm like right by El Dorado Park.
Yeah, okay.
Tight.
Yeah, I should just hit you up next time.
Yeah, bro. Slide through. We got a little photo studio in the garage.
Oh,
Just
yeah?
kick it. Yeah, just kick it in the backyard, whatever.
Okay, cool. But yeah, and that was pretty much it. And then I went to school. I basically went to elementary school and high school wherever my cousin went. So, yeah, I went to Greek school for 10 years, which is a super random fact. And then I went to Catholic high school after that for 4 more years.
My man's cultured.
Yeah, it's so random. I'd be like, yeah, I could speak in Greek sometimes, and people are like, why? I was like,
Hey, that's tight. That's like, hey, I bet you know what, honestly, hearing this, you're probably really good at 2 truths and a lie.
What's that?
Like the game where you got to tell 2 truths and then one lie, and then somebody they got to guess it.
Wild stories.
Yeah.
You know what though? What was cool about going to Greek school? One, going to Eastern Orthodox school. First of all, when you go to mass, their communion bread is like top notch. It's like so good. I don't know if that's disrespectful to say that, but that's a fact.
That's kind of like a compliment. I mean, like I'm Catholic.
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment.
Yeah, they got crazy communion bread. And you know what else too is that learning Greek like also helped me understand like what English words
Ah,
like mean, because so much of the root is either Latin or Greek.
right. That's
Um,
tight though.
so that was
So
cool.
so did what got you into was photography the first medium that you kind of dabbled in, or like
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
that story like?
Basically, my dad gave me his first camera when I was 10, which ended up being my first camera. But he kept it all the way from back when he was taking photos in high school, which I guess was in potentially the 60s or the 70s. The
Word.
70s, I guess. Yeah. Um, but yeah, like that camera when it was given to me was already like I don't even know, like 30 years old. But that's
That's
the thing
tight.
like, about old cameras is like, most of them don't need batteries. They were all made out of like really heavy metal, so it's like wasn't going anywhere. It
Right.
was like so mechanical that it was just gonna last. But yeah, pretty much started with that. He gave that to me, put me on.
So you got started shooting film, not even digital.
Yeah,
Wait, do you shoot digital or film now? Or both?
both. Yeah,
Word.
whatever the job calls for.
Tight.
Like some people are cool with because it's like when you shoot film, like like the whole context of the image is different,
Mm.
right? Just off of the color
Right.
and like not to get like too crazy about it, but like the tones that it captures and blah blah blah. The way like it can pull in all kinds of light. Um, but it's a trusting process.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've shot rolls of film, trusting the camera, just to find out that it's all fucked up.
Ah, bro, that's the worst. That's the
Yeah.
worst.
So there's that. There's another part where it's a trusting process from client to the photographer, being like, because so much like of stuff lately is like client wants to see exactly. Client wants to see
Right.
how it is in real time. Just to be like, oh, or even styling or makeup or whatever. Like someone
Right.
wants to be like, oh, does it look how I think it looks? But that's kind of the cool part.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah, exactly. And that's nice though. It's like nice when you leave like some things up to like a trusted chance.
That's
Because you know
real.
what? When it comes out, you're like, it's a little rewarding because you're like, damn, I was right. It did like end up being good.
I feel
Or you're
that.
like, damn, like like I just didn't expect to be able to see all of that or whatever, like the detail
Right.
that you get out of it. So that part's kind of nice. But then there's the time part of it.
Yeah.
You gotta wait.
Do you develop your own film, or do you go like to like a shop?
Yeah, go to a lab. I want like some days I miss going to the dark room. I won't lie though, it's not the easiest process if you do it on your own, just because it's like if you get really nerdy about it, like you want to like yeah, you want to like make sure the temperature's right,
You're
all your
right.
chemicals are fresh, like things like that. You can't dump shit down the drain, whatever.
Right. Unless you're
Um,
trying to kill some dolphins.
right. Yeah. And even though
Assholes.
I can't swim and I don't like the ocean, ain't trying to kill animals in the ocean.
Hey, try to kill Shamu.
Yeah. but yeah, I go to a lab,
Okay.
and then yeah, and then it's film. It's a little pricey, but
Do you want to drop the lab's name for people, for photographers that are listening? That are like,
okay.
yo.
There's a couple good ones, right? My new favorite one. There's this one in Glendale called Digital Photo Printing and Studio.
Okay.
But on the internet on Instagram, they're called That One Photolab. They're actually really good, bro. And the first time I went there was off of a recommendation from another really good photographer named Erica Hernandez.
Shout out Erica.
Yeah, she's really good. And I was like, oh, I keep seeing you post X, Y, and Z, like, developed at that one Photolab, wow, like where is it? Do you really like them, like this and that? Because sometimes you're going to a lab out of necessity or whatever. Like it's a few people that are like, let's go to Gold 1 hour because it's fast and it's cheap, and it's true. And it's not that I have anything against Gold 1 hour either, but like there are things like at this place in Glendale where I was like, hey, I was like, I don't really want you to scan my stuff and have it like be like super auto corrected. Like I don't want you guys to like change. I don't want the software that like the film scans through like to change like my white balance or like the way it perceives color or just really as much as little as possible. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. Do you want to look at some of these that we just did and look at this recipe and then look at this other recipe? And they like, showed me different ways that they could scan it in, like with the color processing.
What?
Like, oh yeah, yeah. In the lab, like there are obviously like all labs will probably do that for you, but off top, as a first walk-in client that I only had one referral from, it's just kind of rare to get that kind of service. That was like super tight.
No, for real.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like if when you're super popping and you got and you got money to blow, icon,
Icon, bro.
Sure,
I've been there once. That shit was intense. I was like, I am not worthy.
Yeah, they're good though. I won't lie, they are really good, and they probably I don't know like where else you can get a really good wet drum scan in LA. But that's a really good spot.
That's tight. Have you heard of a Last Good Film Lab?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, what's his name? M Koziel on Instagram.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, that's
he's like a really good DP too.
He's filthy, bro. Like
yeah.
We've done some stuff with him with Porch House for Kia.
Oh,
back when I was out on working on Kia, and we just connected. And then he was telling me about his spot. I still want to try it out.
Yeah, me too.
It's like a whole ass vibe. I was like, dang, that's tight.
Yeah, it's like in downtown or Chinatown.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's really tight.
That's
to have like a film lab with all your friends is
right, like the homies, like
that is pretty cool.
So okay, so your dad gave you your first camera.
Yeah.
And then, well, I guess the question is, did you always know that you wanted to do this, just be creative? Or was there like a moment or a project that you're like, yo, this shit's for me?
I mean, I was like, so basically what ended up happening was like, all right, I got my first camera. I'm taking pictures of like fucking plants and random shit.
Bro, okay, real quick, pause there. I feel every photographer starts off with shooting plants and random shit, bro.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, bro. I was out there shooting tulips and shit. I thought I was hard. I thought I was the filthiest.
Like I was taking a camera, like putting it inside of a bush and like, oh yeah. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's so real.
But so there's that, and then I got into high school, and I was like, because basically like I've always been like a nerd about shit, right? Like before I was like really a nerd about photo, I was like building computers and shit.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was because like my dad was a little bit of a nerd too, and like he had me on a computer, like I was basically using a computer like potentially at the same time that I was learning how to write. So like I was learning how to type. Like I was almost better at typing than I was at handwriting.
Dang, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And look, who handwrites anymore these days?
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing too. When I was at the Greek school, they actually made me write in cursive for 8 years.
Bro, this right here, it will be a podcast secret. I don't really know how to write in cursive. Like,
oh, you don't?
Like I could do a couple, like for the most part, bro. Like I could do it, but it's like
get it back. Get it back, because it's such a random, like, yeah, it's totally meaningless, of course, but like, sometimes I'll write a note, or like I'll have to fill out a form, and then by habit I'll just write it out in cursive, and someone will be like what? Like, you know what I mean? And it's cool. It's kind of cool just to see a little reaction out of some people, but some people too, Nico, is so funny. Like I just didn't know how I guess out of tune cursive was with
Dude.
anything now, but people were like, I don't even know what this says. Like, what letter is this? And I was like,
No, it's that. Yeah, bro. I mean, like, legit. I only remember learning how to write in cursive just for the fucking standardized test that we had to take in
oh
elementary.
yeah.
Aside from that, I never wrote in cursive. And
Oh
even for
really?
that, it was like Nicholas. Like, it was bad, bro.
Oh my
Shout out
god.
to you, bro. See, that's why your photos are so filthy, bro. Because my man,
You
your
can write
photos
in
look,
cursive.
yo, your photos look like they write in cursive, dog.
Thank you,
Fancy.
bro. That's pretty funny. Uh,
Oh man, but wait, okay. I lost where you're at.
no, you're good.
Um,
Uh,
that's just guts. We
we were
were
talking
talking
about the yeah.
just like how you got into shooting photos, because computers and then
Oh
okay,
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, whatever. So I was being a nerd on that shit, and then um, in high school, I ended up going to Notre Dame, in Sherman Oaks because my cousin went there too. The same cousin that went to the Greek school ended up going to Notre
Okay.
Dame, Sherman Oaks. So my mom was like, "Your kid's going there, my kid's going there," and I was like, "All right, sick." Um, and then when I was there, I was like, I didn't really have many friends in the beginning, so I was just trying to figure out some shit to do. They had a TV class. I thought that was cool. Um, and then because I was just being like a little nerd, I would like go do my homework, and then I would just go and try to figure out this photography thing and like look up like try to understand other photographers, older photographers. Um, and so I started taking photo there like as soon as I can. I think like as a sophomore, as a junior, and after that I was like, oh like I have access to a darkroom one, so now I can like if I want to like take photos, because at that time I didn't have a digital camera still, or if I
Right.
did, it was like a piece of shit. It was like a a whatever.
Right, right.
Uh,
Like a little point and shoot.
yeah. Um. So I was like, okay, I can take better photos in the darkroom. I have access to it, so I would like do that, and then it wasn't until like my junior year, um, I was like, I told my parents about it. And then obviously the thing about when you are like, when you're part of like an Asian immigrant family, they're like, it's cool that you have passions, but like, make sure you figure something out to take care of your life
No, I
first,
feel that.
you know?
That's real.
So they were like, "Oh, this is cool." Like, it like I don't know what they thought. Like if it's like, oh, it keeps them out of trouble or keeps them busy. Just like just sit in the corner and do whatever it is you need to do. And so I was like, okay, cool. So my parents like helped put it down for my first digital camera, and then
Nice.
and a lighting setup, and which was pretty like that part was probably like the part that I was like, oh, I'm fully committed into it now,
Dang.
because one, it's expensive,
Right.
right? So there's that whole part, and then two, it's like you're gonna use it once, and or at least there hasn't been a time where I was like, oh, I've played with one thing once and felt like I've like gotten enough out of it to never want to play with it again.
Right, right. Kind of like that whole like new shiny toy concept.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, or yeah, or I just thought like, what's the new shiny toy concept?
Where it's like you have this new shiny toy and you're like, oh, this is the best fucking thing ever. And then you put it down and you're like, oh, look at this new best thing ever.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, I felt like it was the opposite. Like I felt
Right,
like,
right.
yeah, I felt like I touched the new shit, and then I figured out that you can actually because there's a way to use the new shit the way that everyone tells you how to do it, right? And then when you understand it, you're like, oh, I can actually use the new shit to do something it's not supposed to do, and it still looks good. It's still cool. So there was that part, and then I went to high school with my really like basically ended up being my big sister. We grew up like 2 major blocks away from each other. Found out, um, and then now I get to assist her and learn from her. But basically, there was a point where like I had the lighting, she had the clients. We would go off and trade stuff. We would assist each other. We would
That's tight.
we would just work through it. And
real quick, this is in high school still?
This is in high school, so like probably the end
Bro,
of high school.
My man had clients in high school.
Barely.
Yeah, but still, like to be at that age and thinking on that level, period. Like, I mean, like for example, like not many people do that. I mean, I was selling candy on campus and like just trying to hustle that way, but it's like, bro, being out here actually with clients and like thinking like this is my thing. Like I'm about to be.
Yeah, I mean, I say clients like people I work with, but it's still like
it was still
hot. We were going to people's apartments, like to take photos. Like it wasn't like super serious. But like still, we had our moments.
Yeah, that's tight. That's tight.
So yeah, like after working with her, that's my homegirl Felicia too. By the way, really good photographer.
Shout out Felicia.
Yeah, for real though. Shout out Felicia. She be working hard as fuck, putting me on.
What's her handle? I gotta add her.
Check her stuff. My name, Felicia Tolentino.
Tight. Oh, that's a sick name. Yeah. It's like what's that one? Tarantino.
Yeah.
That's hard.
All Filipino though.
That's hard.
Yeah, she's great. She be working hard as fuck too. People be like, "Damn, you be working," but bro, it's like, I got at least 5 other people I know too that be working hard as shit, bro. So it's like that's the only way to keep up.
No, it's real, bro. I feel like that's the thing that a lot of people, upcoming photographers and just artists, they're like, they think that they can just walk into this and just like all of a sudden because they got a nice camera that they can do it all. But it's really, it comes down to how bad you want it,
Yeah, and plus also too, it's like, I totally agree that the work ethic is 100% a part of it, but there is also another part of it that's like, that helps like inform people that like, you're gonna make work and you're gonna pump it out, but you're gonna do it in a way that the guy next to you is not doing it. And then so the style, like putting some sort of a style into it too, or like some kind of a like a perspective or an edge that's mostly yours, like that's what will really push it out, right? Because it'll be everyone, because it's like everyone has a camera now,
right?
So it's like everyone's taking photos,
right?
So then that happens, and then it's like, well, I want to get a better photo. So it's like then you reach to this like other tier where it's like people who are taking photos but just with better equipment.
Right, Hasselblads and Pro Phase 1s and stuff.
Yeah, or even just non-iPhone.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm serious. Like like a lot of the time, like not saying like for most commercial stuff, but like for most of the stuff that people see, the iPhone is enough, right? Because everyone's just it's already just getting shown on the web anyways.
Right, that part.
Yeah, so style and the work ethic, man, probably obviously I think that applies to anything. No,
that's real. Sorry, 1 second.
No, go ahead.
Phone's being blown up. I'm like, chill. I'm in the middle of an episode.
Your morning's starting early, huh?
Bro, mornings always just start early, dog. Yeah. My bad. But yeah, going back into it, it's like, okay, so let's jump off from you were shooting with Felicia.
Yeah.
And then is it just like what's been like the next steps for you from that?
I went to college. I tried hard as fuck in high school. And then I ended up going to Syracuse, which was not my first choice.
That's in New York, right?
It's in upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, like, okay, first of all, I've lived in California my whole life, right? I lived in LA my whole life. And I did not understand the geography of New York State. And I was like, Syracuse, it's in New York. New York City's in New York. I was like, I'll just go to Syracuse. I thought it was like fucking going to school in Santa Clarita, but it's not. It was like so the opposite. So it's 5.5 hours upstate. It's closer to Canada than it is to New York.
That's crazy. So it's like going to like school in San Francisco from LA.
Maybe SAC.
Dang, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe SAC.
Dang, because were you thinking like I'm gonna get to New York and be like in like the city like that too? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, because I was like, basically, here's what happened. Right? I tried hard as fuck in high school, right? And I fucking
hold
took
on, hold
on.
on, hold on, pause. I'm
Go
guard
ahead.
the gardeners 1 second.
No, do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay, I'm back.
Like, I didn't even hear that shit.
No way, this mic is fire.
Yeah, the mic's good.
That's exciting, dude. Yeah, they had the whole ass weed whacker out, bro. I'm like, y'all gotta chill right by the window. We're talking about Syracuse.
Yeah, basically ended up in Syracuse. I tried hard as fuck in high school, right? Like a good Asian student. And I took on like as many APs as I could pile on.
Oh, the APs.
Yeah, bro, so dumb. So dumb. And I ended up getting a D in AP physics, which was like
understandable.
Yeah, made me hate physics to this day. And then what you call this? I was in like a special program where I was taking advantage of affirmative action, and the UCs were basically like, "Yo, just finish the school year, like like a good Asian kid, and then you can pick wherever you want to go, except for LA and Berkeley."
I'm dying,
like,
bro.
Yeah. I was like, I could fucking do that. Because the biggest offense in the Asian family, right, is one offending or disappointing your parents, and then disgracing like the legacy of who your parents are, what your family stands for, or X, Y, and Z, right?
Right,
so
right.
All right, I'm gonna not fuck this up. But then I fucked it up, and then I got automatically rescinded from all of my UCs.
Oh,
like
what?
within a few weeks, bro. My school sent out my report card for the first semester with a D on it, and I got like 4 letters like all at once.
No, bro.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck.
Were you going to school for photography or sorry, something else?
I was going to school for computer engineering.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I actually love math.
I feel that.
On some nerd shit.
Nah, bro. I was pre-med like for 2 years. Like, bro, like I'm Black and Mexican, so it's like similar to like growing up in an Asian family, but like more along the lines of like you better just not fuck up shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
like, oh, you're the kid, like we grew up hard as fuck to give you a better life.
Right.
Like, don't fucking make us look stupid because we're trying hard as shit here. And it's not even that they're like, not even to say make us look stupid to downplay the effort, right? Because we all love our families, and
right.
At least I know that like the sacrifice and the effort that my parents made for me was like obviously something that like I'm super grateful for. I'm always gonna be indebted towards. But yeah, sometimes it feels like it's a little bit of pressure on it.
Right.
But
like sometimes held over you. Like, look.
Not like held over,
okay.
But just like reminded that like, like don't go out there and live a life that doesn't mean anything.
Dang. Say that one more time for the people in the back, bro. That's real, bro. Don't you? What'd you say?
Like, I just feel like sometimes like when my parents tell me about how much work and struggle that they've escaped, or at least like gone through to give me a life without that, it's just like a reminder that like, my life was so special to them that they didn't want me to not do anything with it, or like to not be able to find like some sort of purpose out of it.
That's real, bro. Wow, I got goosebumps to that, dog. Like that's fire. Because I feel it's so many people are living meaningless lives, just like doing whatever society tells them to do, judging their life off of other people's Instagrams, and it's like it doesn't even come down to that. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. I also don't want to. What you call this? I'm not trying to knock people or judge people on whatever it is that they want to do.
right.
You know.
Like growing up, for example, my parents always told me like they'll support whatever, but if I want to be a trash man, be the best damn trash man there
Yeah.
is. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's just whatever you're doing. For whoever's listening to this, whatever you're doing, just do it with passion, with meaning. Don't just do it just to do it.
Right.
Unless it's weed. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Too bad. I know a lot of good, very, very good people that used to just be doing weed just to do it, and now they did it with passion, and they're fucking.
That's what I'm about. I was about to say that. I was about to say, listen, weed is be intentional with weed.
Yeah, because they're on one right now. And
that's real.
Like, I should have been a plant nerd or like.
Right, bro. These master growers and stuff, crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's actually nuts.
so let's switch a little bit of gears. Well, okay. Well, first, a lot of your clients now are rappers and clothing lines.
Yeah, kind of, pretty much. I've basically been doing a lot of music, a lot of fashion, and then I've been assisting as much as I can. And I took like a break before COVID to be a tour manager.
Oh, that's tight. How was that?
It was sick, bro. Tour managing is great, bro. I mean, this is what I'll say, right? Like being on tour, like, isn't exactly like great,
right?
But obviously it has its moments, you know.
Who'd you manage the tour for?
The first group that ever gave me the opportunity was Warm Brew.
Okay, tight.
Yeah, and then that's how we know each other.
Yep. What Warm Brew and Duckworth.
Yeah, but because of Ryan, right? And then
right, how crazy is that, bro? Yeah. That's wild. That's just like how like life is a full ass circle, dog.
Yeah. So, and then plus I've known those fools for like, dude, like since my senior year, my senior year of high school. So it was that kind of worked out. But yeah, my first couple of tours, they were kind of hard. But you know, like after you get some experience, you start to realize like what's really serious, like, you know, and then you deal with more people, so you realize like, you know, attitudes aren't that deep.
That message right there.
You know, and it's just like sometimes it's gonna be about like, you know, like tucking your pride about doing something one way just to make sure it gets done no matter what. Yeah.
How'd you fall into tour managing? Or has that always been kind of like something that you've thought of doing? Or was it just like yo, bro, you're filthy as fuck at photography, but we also need some tour managing. You down?
It was just like, no, but basically like, cause there was a point, right, where I was working with like Chris and Ray and Jamil for like almost daily, like, like, yeah, they like when they would record, I would be there, whether it was just to take pictures or to hang out or whatever. Or to film videos, and like, yeah, I've just been around so much. I had seen like all this stuff that the homies were trying to do, right? Because it wasn't just Ryan. There were like other, like his cousins are also in the music industry. We'd hang out with them. I did like he helped me like get a little internship at Fake Works so I could get some college credit for the summer.
Fake Works, yes.
So like I'd been aware of it, but I just didn't understand like the part of it at all, really.
Right.
And then touring was cool to me initially because of the travel part of it, just to see whatever other things that were going on in the world. Because like, yeah, because like I don't know about you, but like where I grew up, right out here in the valley, like I know some people that like have never left the valley, and that's cool with them.
Right.
That's all good too. But it's like when I left, it was just like It was like, yeah.
Yeah,
It
no,
was just nice.
that's the same vibe. Like I'm from Ontario, like the IE originally.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of homies that like never left the IE just don't care. It's like the IE is the whole world. Like this
Yeah.
is and it's like when I went to school, I went to LMU and just moving to LA, bro. I was like, yo, there's a whole ass world outside of like
Real shit.
so, but then also even for high school, I went to a private school, Damien, up in like Laverne.
Oh,
So
damn.
that was a whole difference. Like all the homies went to like the local high school Colony,
Yeah.
while I'm over here at Damien. That's like 20 miles away. You know,
Oh,
like
damn.
like a whole ass car ride, bro. Like,
Yeah. What the hell?
and so
So
it's like
far. Why
even
did you go
just
that far away? Your family?
just private. It was private school. It was like one of the best private schools in the area, and
Okay.
so my because I wanted to be a doctor. So my parents were like,
Oh, yeah,
"Well,
yeah.
we'll send you to private school." And so like,
Damn.
but my siblings all went to public. So I was like, "This is
Damn. So they were priming you.
right." And then so that's why, like in college, they're like low key pissed that I switched majors into fucking fine art. that was that was a rough period.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not easy.
dude, after I failed chemistry twice, and that's when I knew like maybe I wouldn't be a good anesthesiologist.
Let me tell you, because obviously too, right? Like all my other Filipino homies, they ended up taking like bio or whatever, like nursing.
Yeah.
And like one of them was trying to show me like barely even like I don't even know if it was even barely the surface, but like a piece of biochem.
Oh gosh, dude.
I could never. Like,
I'm just happy I never got to OChem or biochem. I was like,
oh my god, that shit scares me.
man, that's real.
Yeah.
But that's
Shout
tight,
out
bro.
science though. I'm a big fan of science.
Well, I mean, it's cool because science kind of plays into like photography, like what you're saying.
Yeah, definitely on the light side of it, understanding light and
Let's dive. Well, okay. Well, we're talking about the tour. You're tour managing, and then
oh yeah, yeah. I took a break from taking photos to tour manage because of Warm Brew, um, and then yeah, did a few tours with them,
right.
and then I ended up getting another opportunity to keep tour managing from other people with this girl that I actually went to NYU with, but I didn't meet at NYU. Just met her in New York.
Word.
But she also, just like how I was talking about Felicia working hard, this girl Ramya, she be working hard as fuck. Real shit. Like yeah, I basically have gotten to know like this crazy group of like insanely hardworking women and men, but mostly women, low key.
That's tight.
But yeah, it's like, dude, because when you see other people work hard, it like you never like, oh, like you're gonna work that hard, I'll let you just do all that hard work. You know what I mean?
That's real, bro.
Yeah, so it's like I see all these people working hard next to me. I'm like, damn, I could fucking work hard. Like,
dang. Oh well, what's the quote? Iron sharpens iron.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
real.
That's yeah.
That's tight. So what was there a pinnacle point in your career for you that you can pinpoint that you're like, because I don't know, I feel like after college, you're just like a lot of people are like, I need a full-time job.
Yeah.
What
Sure.
what made you feel like, you know what, like fuck this, I'm a shoot.
Oh,
Or like I'm gonna just be me.
First of all, I still think about getting full-time jobs all the time. Yeah, because there's like like this is the thing, right? On the internet, like it's like, oh, freelance is cool. You set your own schedule, be your own boss, blah, blah, blah. And it's true, right? All that is true, but like the other part that they don't tell you about is like, oh well, since you're working by yourself, like you're like the one and only person that's accountable, right? So it's like whatever it is that you want to make out of your opportunity is totally up to you. So it's like whether or not you end up wanting to try hard or try something else or take it a different direction or scale it back, is like only your decision. Until until you involve the client too. Um but yeah, it's like freelance is cool, but it has, there's definitely so many times where you're like, damn, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll have a week where like I'll be fully booked, and then the Monday of that week comes by, and then people want to cancel or reschedule. That's just
Ooh.
that's just the name of the
Ooh.
game.
That's real.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, okay, that's a great thing to transition into the next topic of like the process. And it's like, when it comes to that, what advice do you have for upcoming shooters and just, I guess, creatives that are booking like, gigs? Like, do you do like a half, like a down payment, or like what sort of methods do you do to protect yourself, or do you have any?
All right. Here's the way I look at this, right? Because people hit me up and they're like, "What's your rate?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, it's hard to say, right? Because
Right.
for me, it's hard to say because one, I don't really care like what the job is. If I'm gonna get personally reached out to from somebody that I personally know and I'm cool with and we're friends, like I'm always try to make it as free as possible.
Mm.
So there's that part. And then the other part is though, if I get reached out by the homie, but we're doing like something that's big or there's high expectations for it, then obviously, yeah, there's some money involved there too.
Right.
But like the way that I try to look at it is first like from a producer kind of look, like, oh, you need a photographer, but what do you need the photographer to do?
Mm.
So it's like I don't have a rate, like I don't have a set rate because it's like it's not the same scope of work all the time.
Right. That's
Yeah.
completely makes sense.
And then not all photos are used the same,
Right.
sometimes the client has other expectations that they think is part of the job, but it's not.
Mm.
Um,
So
or
like so it sounds like communication's a really important thing.
yeah, like if you can't talk, like first of all, I almost entirely work off of referral.
That's tight.
So there's that part. And I'm a super strong believer in that because I've only made business cards once in my life. And after I did that, I never did it again. um, not only because I didn't have anywhere for them to go. First of all, I was making business cards for no reason, right? Just to make them to feel like any type of professional way. Um, but also for the fact that I started realizing like I was getting better work out of people that have worked with me before.
Mm.
Like because there's like an expectation and there's also like a unspoken level of trust that ends up coming out of that. Because someone else is telling someone that they trust, like, oh, I actually trust this person too. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, then there's some stuff that doesn't have to get in the way, like
Mm-hmm.
like really basic understandings of each other's like expertise or like potential of capability or
Right.
um so that's how I try to handle that thing.
I
But
it's so funny. I feel like we're very similar with that, where it's like for me, it's such a hard, I hate that question.
what?
How much is it?
Yeah, yeah,
What, I'm like, I don't know. What do you want? Like,
yeah,
because it's like I could go and build you a whole strategy and a release plan and everything along with with what I shoot for you.
yeah, yeah,
Or I could just shoot the photos and give you some JPEGs. Or I could shoot
yeah,
the photos, edit, and do retouching.
yeah,
It's like, but then they expect you to know what the fuck that they want. And it's like
that's what I'm saying too. Yeah, but I also feel like and also there's also a really strong part of me too that before I get to like do the work, like understanding the idea and the creative behind it is like the most important part. Like it's
when
very hard to start without that.
Right, because like you don't know like how, like what props you need and stuff like that in general, right?
Well, there's that part, right? Like on a production standpoint, where you're like, oh well, you want to do this, well, we need to get X, Y, and Z. But there's also the point where it's like if you figure out creative and the idea that's motivating, like the shoot or the images or the video that you want to produce, it's like everything after that that's gonna add a limitation to it, whether it's like budget or availability or like where you can shoot at or who can shoot. Like it's easier to find a solution around that when you understand like
Right.
where it needs to go, right? Because it's like, oh, there's like a million ways to get to like the store,
Yeah.
but because this road's closed or there's an accident here, because I just like going this one way,
Yeah.
you know, like you can still go that way, or things will have to change, and like half of the skill too might just be in your ability to adapt with a limitation. It's not everything is always gonna come out exactly the way you want it.
That's so real, bro.
Yeah.
What so let's talk about your creative process a little bit in regards to, so say I'm a client, I come to you and I'm like, I want a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
What's your creative process like to build that shoot? Like does a location come first, or does a whole idea happen for you, or like, just kind of talk to us about that.
Uh, usually it's like, usually what will happen is like a client will be like, almost all the time a client will be like, I've seen you work on this, or I've seen your work from this, and that was cool. And at least that gives us like some sort of like common part, like when it's like me as the photographer, because there's also times where it's like, oh, I just get brought on to assist or some other like not like top responsibility part.
Right.
um so we'll have like common ground there, and then I'll be like, oh, like what are we shooting for, like what's the, if that's not already explained in their initial reach out.
Do you charge more like for usage, like if they want to use it like in multiple places, or do you not get involved with that side of things?
So here's the thing. When I get a job where I get, or it gets big enough for that, then yeah, for sure. But right now, I haven't hit a client yet that is like big corporate, where we're talking global in terms, and like different outlets, like whether it's like print, digital, it's exclusively social, like
Right.
whatever. Most of the stuff that I've been shooting has almost entirely been digital.
Okay.
Like the last time I got a billboard was like years ago. Yeah, and even then it was like that, like stuff like that. Sometimes it's rare that people are like, we're shooting exclusively for a billboard.
Right.
So it'll be a surprise thing, and it's just up to you, like, right? Because there's a trade-off between like charging for usage or giving the usage, but getting like the awareness of
True.
like the validity, like of your work.
Right.
Because it's like some people be like, yeah, because at the end it's like you can put anything on a billboard, right? But then it's like people are gonna like, they're gonna put your photo on a billboard. It like
That's
it
real.
means something else.
That's real, bro.
So I don't know. But yeah, if I get like the good, like
if Bieber hopped in his car right now, he's all like, "Hey, what's up, dude? I need you to do like my new cover art.
Yeah,
it's gonna go
global.
global."
If you're like global pop star, or you're like global, global fashion brand, hell yeah, like I'm down to talk about that. But at the same time, since like, because right, there's still like a level of politics too, and it's like, because I don't already have that in my rotation, I still got to pay some dues to that too. So if I'm gonna lose on my first one, that's fine, because I'll probably get another one after that, and I won't have to lose on that one.
I think that's a great thing for everybody listening to hear, is that it's like, so I feel like commonly people look at paying dues as like time, as like as like always this time frame. But I think hearing you say that alone, you could, like, if I just started photography and then all of a sudden I booked my first shoot and it's going to be on billboards and stuff.
Yeah.
Your dues obviously are not time there, but it's like taking a cut and just being like humbling yourself and being like, hey, no, it's cool. Like, thank you for the pay. I'm not going to be pressing you guys about like residuals or anything.
Yeah. But also it's just like, you know, like, right. But that's what I mean about the politics about it, right? Because it's like if you start like, I'm all about being ambitious,
right?
You know, whatever. But it's like I'm also about respect and like understanding like some sort of like journey to I don't know, just like working through,
right,
you know, working through whatever, like an industry or a practice or something, you know, like
I feel
putting
like
the hours in.
I feel like that respect and loyalty right there. That's what I feel is what really develops your career, bro. Like hearing you say that too, it's like, dang, that's real. It's like, and like paying your dues is like a sign of respect to that client. It's like, yo, like I appreciate you. I fuck with you. I'm not gonna press you about this right now.
Yeah.
But when you come back with that next one, let's talk. Like,
right. But also like also too, right? Because here's the other thing too for me, right? It's like just because I work with one client and like it goes somewhere, it's not like that's not just a conversation. Like that work was not just a conversation or a product of a relationship just between me and my client. Because now that I'm in that space where I'm getting awareness like on a bigger level, that means all the other images that are getting awareness at that same level are also looking at my, like, going against my images, right?
Right.
So it's like, imagine, you know, like, yeah, it's super political, right? And it doesn't really matter to an extent, but also it's just like, you know, when you end up going meeting or working with other photographers or other people in your industry, like, you know, you just want to come correct, like from a place where you understand, like, you know, I'm not like, I wasn't trying to spoil myself off of one billboard.
Yeah,
and
I feel that.
And it's like to throw all my like, you know, my my like payment defense or whatever, you know, to charge for usage, like all on one job is like trying to say that like this is going to be the only job,
right?
I'm gonna have to do this, and it's like that's just not true. Like you do one and you pretty much end up doing another one.
No, for real. So, that makes sense. So we talked a little bit about like how you go about getting gigs. I feel like that's another thing that a lot of people are always wondering. It's like, how do I get gigs? Like I have a portfolio, but it's like, how do I meet people? What advice do you have for up and coming creatives about just navigating the industry of this?
I'm gonna say off top, it's gonna take a long time. And if it doesn't, then that's also great for you. But be cool to make it long term. And like, unless like you can really hone in on a very specific style initially and like commit to that and be really creative and finesse in the way that you can reinterpret that and like continuously find a way to make it different for someone else, but still being able to have people see it and trace it back to you. Like that's probably the like one of the hardest parts. Because at the same time, it's like sometimes when you're looking for inspiration to start making new work or to get more attention, or just to show people that you want to do other things than what they're used to seeing, like you start writing that line where it's like, this isn't what I usually do, and I don't really have much experience in it, but I also don't want to look like I'm gonna exactly copy, you know what I mean, what already exists. Not to say because you know there's like this whole other like forever conversation about being original and whatever, and drawing inspiration. but like that part's like probably a big part of it for me. And being cool with doing, like, you know, as much as what you call it, LLC Twitter wants to frown upon it, like doing free work, bro, is, I'm not gonna lie, is really part of what it is. Like, you're gonna do free work, and or you're gonna do work that you don't like to do, and sometimes you're gonna do it because you want to pay some bills. Sometimes you're gonna do it because you want to make some political play where you're gonna get you're gonna work with the client to like hopefully shoot something else for them,
Right.
or you're just gonna do it because you're interested in something and they're not really interested in you, but you want to prove that relationship or that idea, and that's gonna come at your expense, and that shit is worth it still. Like,
Right.
like just because it doesn't deposit money into your bank account,
Right.
you know, that shit is still worth it to your work and to your name.
Right.
Um,
I have I was gonna say, like, I have a term that I kind of created for that. I call it like playing the creative stock market, where it's like, you know, like for stocks, you don't really know what's gonna come out of it, but you can make an educated guess based off of like CEOs and things like that and products. So it's like same thing, but we play the creative stock market where it's we look at an opportunity and it's like, hey, this might be a great opportunity and this might actually develop into something more fruitful down the road. So it's like I'm gonna, so instead of paying, you're just shooting for free or trading for free because you're playing this creative stock market where it's like take an educated guess on like, is this client worth the risk? Yeah, let's do it.
Or sometimes you're making a risk against your idea too. You know, like you want to try something that you haven't done, you don't have experience in it, but you want, you know, it can be done well, and you have a client that can leverage the awareness for you. So that means people will see it.
Exactly, that creative stock market, bro. I'm telling you, I'm about to write a book on this, bro.
Hell yeah.
Man, no, that's great advice, bro. Let's talk a little bit about the latest and greatest. What's popping right now for you, bro? Do you have any projects that you're just like, are things that you've done recently that you're like super stoked about? Or
I mean, I've been shooting a good amount of Mad Happy stuff lately.
Yeah, bro, that shoot with like the whole university vibe, you snapped on that, bro.
Oh man, thank you. Shout out my boy Kenny Castro. He was on that job with me and he fucking made that shit look crazy.
Hey.
And then my other boy, the Russian Sergey. I work with also sometimes work with this Russian film crew, by the way.
What?
Yeah. And they're like so intense, but they're so fucking on point. It's sick to watch. I won't lie, but it's like very it's just
very like Russian, like what you would
like, you know what I mean? Like I saw them, all three of them, right? It's like the DP, the first AC and the second AC. They got 6 hands on the camera and they're doing a move where they're going from 1, 2, and then 3. And then I shit you not, they rehearsed it maybe twice and they rolled the camera, they're shooting on film, and they literally just go, they like count in Russian like 1, 2, 3, and they hit every mark, and it's like so on point. It was so sick to watch, but they're intense.
Wait, okay, so what kind of stuff are you shooting with them?
Usually on that stuff, I'll be like a gaffer or like you know, like someone that's just like responsible for lights or
word.
Like that, yeah.
Can we talk about this Drakeo the roller photo shoot, bro, for Wicked Thoughts?
Yeah.
Bro,
what do you want to know?
Just like this full body portrait you did. Is the back backlit and then also the front? Like what happened? Like this is filthy, bro.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, basically also shout out Khalil, the dude that runs Wicked Thoughts. Actually super fucking smart and creative dude. That dude, you know, I was talking about all those women too that work really hard. Like that dude works hard as fuck. Like, and I'm talking about someone that like will literally do whatever it takes. Like, I don't know if you keep up with him or his brand or whatever, but dude, like packing orders on the front lawn of the house he grew up in.
That's
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like he needed to get like he needs to get something done. He just gets it done.
That's a vibe, bro.
Yeah.
That's a vibe.
And
By
then,
any means necessary.
huh?
By any means necessary.
No, exactly. But see that's really the part too. To go back to like to go back to what we were saying about like what you should do when you're like trying to get in it is like you just got to do it. Like it's really so hard to like give people like a path or like an example of some shit because it's like every story that I hear about people or every experience that I have working with people or seeing people work is them like literally just doing whatever they can to make it happen, and it's always gonna end up being a little different. And the finesse about it and the cleverness about it is the way you handle it. But that dude, he
it's
does
about that finesse.
yeah. Khalil, he does a really good job at that. But that shoot, he was basically he worked on this Paisley collection, and he did a video. I don't know if you saw the video.
Yes, bro. Well, okay. Do you know City James and all them?
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I found City James on the internet just like as a music artist.
Right.
And I reached out to him because we had like mutual homies in LA, and I was like, bro, like I really love your shit. Just like off some super love fan shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, when COVID is chill or if I have a break, like I would love to shoot you, like blah blah. He's like, yeah, of course, like it's all love. And then I almost worked with him on this Cruzalino shit, Jared Cruz shit. But that didn't connect. But dude, that feels so good. I love everything he's doing.
Right, bro. I'm like, I never knew you were a director. Like where did this come from, City? Like homeboy just appeared out of nowhere shooting feature film vibes. I'm like,
well, that's what I'm saying, but that was my point about the idea too.
Right.
Like because he's just coming with the idea, like, and plus it's like he like I obviously don't know him, never met bro. I just super fan.
Right.
But from what I understand, it's just like, he's taking the same ideas that he's telling stories with his music.
Yeah.
And just telling stories with a camera.
Yeah. No, me and City go way back. And like ever since I've known him, he's just like this creative energy that just floats. Like like when you're in his presence, it's always good vibes. Like he's just one of those people that's like he's gonna be doing some big things too, bro. Like it's just so tight to like I think that's a great example too. Just like what you've been hitting on is like you just gotta do it.
Yeah.
Just like
and it sounds so simple, and I hate that like it's getting like years of everyone's work or whatever bullshit everyone has to go through has to get like summed up into that. But it's just like that's just like a real fact. Like I don't know. It's you can think about shit a lot, but nothing gonna happen till you do it. So
that's real, bro. Message. So okay, question. Yeah. Do you like shooting? Okay, yeah, okay. I got a good question for you. Do you like shooting like cover art, fashion, or like portraits or documentary? Because I feel like your style. I think that's why I connect to it is because it's like I personally love shooting portraits and like a documentary vibe. And like your style seems like that, where it's like your camera's a fly on the wall, like legit capturing a moment that's between that person and themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that when I started taking a lot of pictures, it was a lot of documenting. Like, and I was super influenced by like taking journalism when I was in high school. So I was like really cool. I was really into photojournalism, and I was really inspired by like old school street photographers. So like that sort of like candid documenting or finding a way to make like normal or like normalcy like pretty or emotional or whatever or like intimate was like super interesting to me. So like I tried to carry some of that into what I go for, but it's like whether it becomes a cover art or if it's just a portrait or if it's because they're wearing something, I try to like if it's completely up to me on the production, it's like I get to cast people that I find are interesting and they end up getting to wear interesting clothes, then I'll try to focus it more towards the comfort of the person, so that way I can get a photo that informs, and that informs someone else, like something different about that person.
No, for real.
So
That
it's
makes
like if I'm
sense.
gonna shoot like whatever, like someone that's always seen doing one thing, I'm gonna try to shoot them doing something else.
That's tight, bro. So like almost just like really just like kind of like creating your own stream, creating your own like taking somebody's entire entity and saying, but imagine if you were in this.
Yeah, that I'll try to do that, but I'll also like, depending on how well I know them, like I gotta respect
Right.
who
The
they are, who
brand.
they want to be too. Um, so I mean that'll pretty much come first. But if I can take it like to a place that like is a little more intimate at the least, even if it's not different, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that. That's what I was trying to do with the Draco thing. Because it was like, yeah, Khalil was like, oh, like I need some regular images like shot on white. And like, yeah, that's cool. There's no problem. And then I was like, dude, like we need to get like, he was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks out of jail, um, off of a case that I had basically been following for I guess 2 years, I think it was.
Right.
And it's like, dude, like the picture that I wanted to take of him was to like capture him like in a way that they would capture like classic, like I don't know, like old English royalty or like whatever, like something super dramatic, something very like very like I wanted to keep it dark just because of the perceptions around his image and his case. But I wanted to do I wanted to use that background to like give him like the timelessness that was like was basically an expression of the bullshit that he was facing against, like getting tried against his music.
Damn,
Like
bro.
basically about someone else's perception about someone else's expression, whether or not whatever's going on there is what it is. But just to show that like, I don't know, just to elevate like the idea of like that being like not just like a rapper or artist from LA, but like potentially, an icon or a representation of, a different like, a different kind of struggle. Like, so that's what I was trying to do with the one, at least on the backdrop,
Damn.
right?
Yeah,
Because
bro.
we
That's
have pictures
so
on white.
tight.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, you cool to take your shirt off? And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And then his body got all these crazy tattoos that are like, such a part of him. And it's like, dude, like,
That's so tight, bro. Yeah. That's art, bro. That's art. Let's let's move into the gem section. Imagine right now somebody was listening to this podcast and whatever you said right now was going to change their lives forever. What would you say? What would you say?
I couldn't do that. I would like I don't think I could do that, but I would say I don't know. I would just say, man, work as hard as you can, but try to put yourself first. And try not to get try to remember that like not everyone's attitude is that deep. I feel like that's gotten me through a lot of stuff where I feel like people didn't understand what I was trying to get at or what I was trying to do. And some people are not going to agree with you, and that's totally fine. But if you can prove to somebody like why what you want to do is worthwhile, more often than not, someone's going to let you pass on that. And as long as you can come from a place of of understanding and research and like just knowing or and purpose, people are gonna believe in what you want to do because it's not just gonna be all about you.
Message.
Yeah. So
vibes,
and the
bro.
struggle is temporary, bro. Y'all got struggle, so just work through it. It's necessary. It's temporary. It's not as scary as it looks, but it definitely is hard.
Love it, bro. Love it. And then to wrap up, we got a quick round of speed questions.
Okay.
Just 10 questions. You ready?
Yeah.
What was the last song you sang out loud to?
Oh, You Remind Me, Mary J.
Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Shit. Man, honestly, if it's a comedy, I hope it's Will Ferrell. And if it's a drama, I hope it's Denzel. But that would be weird. It probably wouldn't work out, but man, I fucking love Denzel, bro. I'm on live, man. I love Denzel. I love Training Day.
This audio bit is for sure gonna be like has to be like some type of promo for this episode.
Yeah, bro. I love Man on Fire. I almost fucking cried.
I can respect it.
Yeah.
If you had to live in a different country, where would it be and why?
Man, different country. I guess Japan. Japan. And try to make a life in Tokyo. Only because I went there for a month, 2 summers ago, and it's just nice there. I just felt different there. And I just wanted to explore some of that some more. So I'd like to try that.
What did you want to be growing up?
Growing up, I wanted to be first I really wanted to be like a supercomputer nerd. I was on some wannabe Bill Gates software shit.
Vibes. What would you rather be stuck in the Sahara or the Amazon?
I'll take the Amazon. At least I'll have more to look at than just dirt and sand.
What is your favorite smell?
My favorite smell?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I like candles. Super bougie, but diptych candles.
Okay, bro. Yeah. What do you feel about pineapple on pizza?
That's fine.
Some people be hating on that shit heavy.
The only thing I'd be hating heavy on is cheese, low key, but that gets everyone has something to say about that.
Right. What's the most expensive thing you've broken?
The most expensive thing I've broken? Fuck. I don't know. Maybe I guess my first car crash. Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah.
Hot dogs or hamburgers?
I mean, preferably neither, but I guess a hamburger.
I feel that. And then, all right, the last question, really important. Papi and Friends podcast or Papi and Friends podcast?
We already know the answer to that. We on it. Papi and Friends podcast, man.
Yo, thank you so much for hopping on, bro. For real.
Of course, man. Anytime, bro. Appreciate you reaching out. Thanks.
No worries, bro.